Hello all. Before we begin the video, let's discuss CloudFoundation. CloudFoundation is the premier online training platform to help individuals and organizations gain knowledge and skills in the ever-growing cloud computing industry.
If you're clear, then we'll talk about the third one. Okay, let's go to debug page. We will change the variable value now. Open the LCM provisioning workflow. We have a variable name called policy scheme. Instead of continue, I'm going to change it as interactive. So most of the time, in real-time environment, we will utilize this value, interactive. We will define it as interactive policy scheme. Now we'll go ahead and we'll submit one more access request. I'm going to submit for Gloria. Prism manager and Prism user. Click next. So now I'm going to hit the submit button once again. See, now in this scenario, Sailpoint didn't allow the end user to submit the access request. Correct? So before submitting, once you hit the submit button, some violation triggered. Now go to access request. You cannot find any access request because the request not submitted yet. The last request for Edward. Now we have tried to submit access for Gloria. So which means it clearly indicates the access request not submitted yet. So now end user has to select some decision, like he has to remove any one of these violated role, then only this button will be pop up, and now he can submit access. You got it? The third scenario.
We do have some option. It submit with violation. Will it apply or else?
No, that won't be there. I forgot to disable that. In the last session, I had enabled that button, but I forgot to disable. So it won't appear something like that. Maybe I will disable now. Maybe. I can run the same scenario.
So what is this risk value, Rakesh? We do have 739. We do have.
So that's different. That's a risk management one. I have given some risk points to these business role. I will recreate the third scenario again. Maybe you have seen that policy with violation button. We shouldn't have. It won't rank Prism manager and Prism user. Next, once I hit the submit button, violation will be triggered. See, this time you couldn't see that button. So end user will go through this policy rule. So the correction advice will be given. User has to remove any one of the violated item. So the submit button is grayed out. Now end user will click on this into mark so that the role will get removed and he can submit access request now. You got it? The third scenario. Are we clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So here I have a question. User A, user B. We have A user, we have B user. User A primarily works for accounts payable department. And user B works for accounts receivable department. Maybe instead of accounts payable, I'll take this scenario only. Okay, guys. So user A primarily works for accounts payable department and user B works for payable department. Now user B moved from payable to receivable. Okay. So user A is out of office for a long vacation. Now some task is pending in the accounts payable department. Now user B know how to do it, but user B doesn't have access to complete that job. Now as a manager, if I want to submit access request to gain the required access so that user B can complete this task. So there is some policy already which is already defined. So how to submit access request, how to grant this access to him, user B, so that he can fulfill this task. Is it possible? Because user B already part of account receivable department. If I'm going to submit access request to gain this access, it will throw policy violation error. Maybe if it is interactive, then it won't allow me to submit access request. So what should I do now to grant the access?
We can submit the request with policy violation.
Submit with policy violation.
Yeah, then it will go to the, I think, go to manager. So he can
Okay,
approve.
consider this scenario. In the consider this is an example. Here both the rules are appearing. Policy violation will occur, that's fine. But there is no submit with violation button. So what will you do now? But specifically, I have enabled that button. So you have submitted a request. The violation got triggered. I mean, the Sailpoint didn't allow you to submit access request. It's preventing. And there is no such button called submit with violation. So what will you do now? Okay. So guys, in that scenario, it depends on the project. So I don't want to get into that. If they want to grant the access, definitely they can. But from Sailpoint end, customer will ask us to enable that submit with violation button. Okay. So in that scenario, just go to the same workflow, LCM provisioning. So here, so far we talked about policy scheme variable, correct? So now we have another variable called allow requester with violation, allow request with violation from line number 242 to 49. So instead of false, if I'm going to make it as true, so click save. So once again, I will submit access request for trans. Click next, hit submit button. See, now you have a button called submit with violation. Got it? The moment as a manager, once I hit the submit button, request will submit it. So, but now customer is saying they have access has been granted, but we didn't get any proper justification because why the manager submitted access request to gain this particular access. We don't have any business justification. So they should allow the manager to provide some business justification. And if it's valid, then we can approve and we can grant the access, or else we can't. So this is stakeholder requirement. Now you have to enable the box. So whenever manager or end user click on the submit with violation button, they have to provide proper business justification. So to do that, you have to enable one. So how to do that? Any idea? Oh, sorry, guys. You got my question? Okay.
And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.